Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. Rushing can kill you.
Oh my God, Russ can fly.
All right, so I'm out here at the airport and I mean, it is cold, baby. It is cold. And you know, one of the things that was crazy is, man, I am so glad that, you know, this has happened to me because, man, was I in a very unsafe mental state. And I'll explain to you what I'm talking about in 1 second, but check this out. See all of this down here? So one of the things that I'm discovering is I gotta get a shovel out here so I can shovel this out. Because one of the things that is necessary is that for all of the hangar doors to be able to slide open, this one needs to be able to go out so that the other ones can fit in behind it. And because there's this snow, you know, I can't get the hangar doors to open and open appropriately, so I wouldn't be able to get the airplane out. That's actually a good thing, because as I'm going to explain to you, I was not in a good state to fly. And you know, yes, it's cold, and one of the things I'm trying to do is get used to flying Charlie in the cold. As you can see, I'm kind of like wincing because this wind is like really chilly. So I'm just trying to get used to flying her. But one of the things that was happening is I was so preoccupied with the small window of time that I have to fly that I was rushing. And I will tell you 3 things that came to mind once I got here and I couldn't roll the airplane out and I realized how unfocused I was on being safe. 3 reasons why rushing can kill you. So the first thing is, you know, things like just basic safety. If I didn't realize that there was snow out here and all that kind of stuff and wasn't thinking about that, what are some of the other things that I wouldn't have been thinking about? Again, my focus was hurry up and get there. Plug the airplane in. Make sure the engine heater's on. Give it some time. I don't have too much time to fly. I would have been bypassing all the stuff like, look, is the airport environment safe at all? I mean, since there's snow and ice here, what's the state of the runway? I gotta tell you, and I'm gonna freely admit this, I didn't do any type of flight planning at all. And in fact, my thought was, well, I'll just do my normal, maybe I'll fly in the pattern, maybe I'll fly the deck. And so I didn't do any flight planning, which means I didn't check NOTAMs, I didn't check weather really, other than, hey, I see the sun and there's a few clouds. Not a big deal. Well, it is a real big deal. 2 reasons. 1, you see the snow and ice down here at the hangar. Well, that's just one place. I haven't even looked at the runway environment or any of the other taxiways at all. And so here I am, I take my happy behind out there, fire up the engines, go on the runway, coming in to land, and I'm skidding all over the place, right? Because I can't brake and all of that kind of stuff. That could be a really bad day. Plus, I didn't check to see if there was any NOTAMs, if the runway is closed or anything like that. I just hopped in the car, I saw that the sun was out, and I'm just gonna do a quick flight because I need to fly. And there's nothing wrong with that need to fly. The need to fly safely should always take precedent over everything, including my enthusiasm. So that was one of the things that really made me think about, wait a minute, you're not in a good place to be flying. So it's a good thing you can't open up this hangar and take this airplane out, because you haven't checked to see anything about the runway environment. You've done no flight planning. You've checked no NOTAMs and any of that kind of stuff. And number 2 of this, you know, subpart A of like point number 1, which I guess is B, is, yeah, the sun is out, but there's clouds up there. And the thing about it is, you know, what happens if, goodness forbid, you know, I'm coming in, the ceiling is dropping, I haven't checked any of that kind of stuff. I get caught in the cloud, which would be illegal, number 1. But number 2, extremely dangerous. It's cold out here, clouds, visible moisture. Now, more likely than not, it's so cold up there, they're probably ice crystals, but I shouldn't be chancing any of that. And so just completely unsafe, and just unaware of the environment. not cool at all. So just rushing, that could be really, really, really bad day. The second thing that could have made this really bad is, mental state. So one of the things that you learn in flight school, and if all of you remember the I'm safe checklist, illness, medicine, emotions, all of those types of stuff, fatigue, that kind of thing. And so, no, I'm not on any medication. Thank you, good Lord, for keeping me healthy. I appreciate it. I am not fatigued. I got plenty of sleep, all of that kind of stuff. But the rushing and the focus on just getting here puts me in a mental state where the E in I'm safe, that checklist, the emotion, that does rear its ugly head. I'm sure so many of you have seen so many times, pilot debrief and Blancalaria on some of those channels where they've done these accident recreations and how pilots get themselves into trouble. One of the themes that comes up a lot, fuel starvation is top of the list. But the other thing that comes up is get-there-itis. So of course you guys all remember the Kennedy accident, and it's such a shame. But get-there-itis and this need to get there, the need to hurry up, the pressure to move from one place to another, is a very dangerous emotional situation to be in. If you don't remember, he was flying to, I think, Martha's Vineyard or whatever, ended up getting in above his head, went into weather, and I think entered the ocean inverted, pretty sad situation. But that get-there-itis, that emotion, that need to hurry up because I have to be somewhere, that is when you are in a really, really dangerous place to be. And so I felt that. I mean, I was just in this thing where I want to fly and I want to fly so bad. And so I have to hurry up and get to the airport. I have to hurry up and open up the hangar doors, have to hurry up and do all of these pre-checks and all this kind of stuff. I was definitely in a state that had I, tried to complete this flight, I definitely would have been missing things. I know for a fact I would have missed things on a checklist. And when it's cold out here, this is not a time to be playing around and missing items on a checklist. In fact, it's never a good time to miss items on the checklist. And so that emotional state of, I gotta hurry up and get to the airport, and I gotta hurry up and get in Charlie, and I gotta hurry up and plug her in, I gotta hurry up, I gotta hurry. That is a very, very dangerous place to be. And like I said, it didn't dawn on me until I got slowed down to the point where it's just oh crap, woo, take a breath, dude. You are all agitated because I was oh man, I can't get this door, and man, it's no, that door is not gonna do anything until I go to the hardware store and get a shovel, period. And that's a good thing. So the bottom line is I'm not going to be able to fly because yes, the window of time, is closing. And I know that it would not be safe with it starting to do a little bit of the sundown thing for me to go up at all. This is not a time to be doing any dusk flying at all. And so I'm clear on that. But guess what? Now I really am safe, because Charlie's going to stay in this hangar, and the only thing I'm going to do is go to the hardware store and get a shovel so I can shovel this stuff up before it refreezes. So that's the second thing. I mean, and that's just really crazy to think that I have get-there-itis and I'm here. And so that's the real insidious nature of get-there-itis. It's not just about going from point A to point B. Sometimes it's just about blasting off from point A when you have no business having your butt in the cockpit in the first place, period. So that's the second thing. And the third thing about rushing that is really dangerous is it caused me to, maybe ignore the obvious. Maybe right now, I'm feeling okay, but maybe I'm not okay. The thing I'm saying about that is, yes, I am under a lot of stress right now because I want to fly. But that's unnecessary stress that I'm putting on myself, and it doesn't need to be that way. Listen, good Lord willing, I'll have more days to come, more opportunities to fly. And so putting all this unnecessary stress on myself isn't helping my physical well-being at all. One of the things that, we all know is that stress, is definitely a silent killer over time. And so one of the things that I shouldn't be doing as I get older is putting more stress on myself with hobbies that are supposed to be relaxing for me, right? There's enough stressors in my life. We all have natural stressors. They just are what they are. Work, bills, the news, traffic, people, resources, all of that kind of stuff. And all of those things are natural stressors. We all have to deal with them. Plus, there are some people that around this time, going past, the holidays just having passed and that kind of thing, do have, issues with, those types of things. And some of them are our friends, and, we think about them and we pray for them, but we lament the fact that they're suffering. And so that puts some stress on us anyway. So there's enough stress as it is. This is my happy place. This is a place where I feel, and I always feel spiritually connected to the Heavenly Father. So it's not just this, but this is just one of those particular places and particular activities that for some reason I really just feel like I am just communing directly with them. Some people have hiking, some people do it when they're swimming, some people do it when they're biking, or jumping out, or climbing mountains and all that kind of stuff. This is the place where, even just being out here and the quiet, the only voice that I hear is mine. And it's just so peaceful, and the beauty of the snow on the branches, just being out here is just so amazing. And so this is a place that I should be able to relax and relieve the stress and be in a good place where my physical body is having an opportunity to release itself from those stressors. Coming out here in the state that I was and all agitated, and then I got all pissed off that these doors were open, and I wasn't saying I was cussing, but I was pretty daggone close because I was frustrated because I gotta hurry up, and that's just not good. That's just as bad as somebody in their car and they're stuck in traffic and they're going off and they're raising their blood pressure. Not good at all. And so since this is my happy place, this is a place where I should be relieving the stress and not adding to it. And so that was one of the insidious things that I thought about, like the place that I'm supposed to relieve stress from all the other places in life that stress me out is becoming another place where I'm stressed out. No, dude, that's not it at all. Just stop. Just stop. So that was the things that really kind of hit me, and it was just like, dude, this is just crazy. So I wasn't actually going to even make a video because I knew I didn't have time to set up the cameras, and that was the other thing that stressed me out. Oh, you haven't made a flight video in a while, and you need to put the cameras in, you need to do this, you need to do that, and again, it was just snowballing. I'm just like, dude, you need to chill out. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say that, listen, pilots, don't rush this thing. And I know some of you are professionals and you have no choice in their schedules and all that kind of stuff, but I would just say, hey, listen, even in those situations where you've got a schedule, people are all on top of you about making sure you're on time and the departures and all of that stuff and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, if you need to take 2 or 3 good deep breaths before you engage, please do that. And for all of my general aviation pilots out there and enthusiasts, listen, take a beat. And if there's any question, you have any inkling, or just before you do anything, just pause. Okay, listen, is anything impacting me? That's why we have the I'm safe checklist. I always knew it, but the E in I'm safe never really resonated with me. This emotion. What do you mean emotion? I'm fine, you know. Now I could see if I had just gotten into an argument with my wife or something like that, or I got bad news, you know, about somebody in my family, you know, those are the types of things I understood. But this was so much more insidious because there was nothing. Everything seemingly is fine, but I really wasn't in a good place to fly. And so that I'm safe checklist really, really resonates with me now. Not that it didn't before, but that E in the I'm safe, the emotion part, really makes more sense to me. And I'm gonna be ever more mindful. So even on good days when I come out here and everything is fine, I'm gonna come out here and say to myself, okay, how am I? Let's go through the checklist. You know, have I done any liquor? Have I done, you know, and that's never going to be an issue because me and liquor, you know, it's just poison and not good and all of that kind of stuff. So, but any medication, you know, did I sleep? Am I hungry? You know, is there any fatigue? You know, any of that kind of stuff. But when I get to, you know, F being fatigue and then E being emotion, okay, where am I emotionally? Am I rushing? Is there things that are preoccupying my mind that's going to keep me from fully engaging in this activity? One of the things I'll say about aviation is this is not a place where you just phone it in. You know, you gotta be engaged. You gotta be on top of your procedures. You've gotta be focused. And so I'm really gonna be mindful of, you know, am I phoning it in? Is this one of those situations where, like, I get in the car and I've driven somewhere and I had no idea how I got there? That may be fine for a car that's on the ground, but that definitely is not an option for an airplane up in the sky. So that's it. And, you know, I know sometimes folks don't like these talking head videos and all that kind of stuff, but I definitely it was just one of those things that, like, oh my gosh, you know, it's just, you know, a little bit of an epiphany. So that's it. So I'm hoping in the next couple days, you know, I'll get myself together here, and I will be able to, you know, do some cold weather flying with Charlie. And, you know, again, I am, you know, definitely jumping on top of this instrument rating stuff. So I'm hoping to do some more things along those lines. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all for supporting me on this journey. I thank you for, you know, sending me love and, you know, sending comments and hitting the thumbs up button and all that kind of stuff. And I love people who are still subscribing. The channel's been growing. It's been a huge blessing, and I am ever so grateful that all of you are here and have been with me, and all of my long-standing folks that have been with me since 2019 when this thing first started jumping off. Thank you for staying with me. I know so many times people join, you know, channels and all that kind of stuff, and then they fall off, but many of you, you know, continue to be steadfast and be in this thing with me, and so I am definitely appreciative. So with that, I'm going to sign off, and again, I thank you all. Be, you know, blessed in this new year, and good Lord willing, lots of flying to do. All right, with that, Russ can fly. I'm out. Peace.